Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here today. We're going to take a quick look at Kadena. We usually look at Bitcoin, but I don't have enough time here today. Just trying to get caught up with all the coins that we need to look at here, of course. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to trade, and I want to hopefully help you understand a little bit more about being a more effective, self-sufficient trader. If you'd like to join my community, feel free to consider that link in the description below. We'll have new spots available next month as of January 1st. Right now we have all of our slots full. So for Kadena, basically what we're looking at here, first and foremost, it's doing very, very well. We've had 4 days of continuation. And this is awesome to see. And as a trading community too, we actually have a swing trade signal that is up with a bunch of profit targets. Of course, we always have multiple profit targets. Our first is $16. That'll net us somewhere in the range of 50%. We got in closer to 10. So awesome stuff here for Kadena. We are trending closer to that. And I think it's very likely we're going to see that happen in the next couple of days. Let's obviously look at some of the key indicators here and work our way down. So one thing to note though is we do have a resistance right here forming right around 1530 for the 50-day simple moving average. So you can see the price actually ended up bouncing off that and coming back down, and it's kind of potentially going to test that again. But of course, that's a necessary thing. It's very standard for a moving average to get tested initially and then to either get broken or, of course, rejected one way or the other. We'll see soon, obviously, how strong that holds. Well, the good news is here that it's getting close to that point, and it's important to be able to test and to move past a major key level resistance. We're up over 50 on the RSI as well, under 70. That's perfect on the one-day chart. We'd like to see that. Basically, gives us a lot of room for growth potential, which we know that Kadena can do. So all in all, very good shape here. We have a nice little shape there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 hour, see what's going on. This is important as well. We got a price back up over the 200-day simple moving average. You can see that it was kind of testing, rejecting, broke above, kick below, but the key level here at right around 1280 is a nice key level support here for the actual Fibonacci retracement level. So good news is that worked as a previous resistance. Now it's considered to be a support. Okay, so we got 1280 as a support. Next major resistance level is about 1610, and you see our profit targets just below that major Fibonacci retracement level, which is a good practice to always try to set profit targets just below a major resistance level. And Fibonacci retracement lines are oftentimes strong resistance levels based on previous data. Now looking at the 50, of course, we got the 50-day simple moving average working its way up. That could potentially result in a golden cross here soon, but we're up over 70 on the RSI. A bit on the overextended side, so I'd be okay with the price kind of consolidating, going sideways for a little bit. But if I'm not mistaken, we should have got a reset here recently. We did. So we were actually only 3 hours into a 9-hour potential continuation. So we've literally got 6 to 10 hours left of push to the upside here, left without the price getting overextended. Because once again, we got a chance to consolidate right here in this area, right at the support level. So oftentimes you'll see this when, like a key level resistance is broken, for example, an all-time high. You'll see a price kick above, come back down, test that major resistance level, the previous resistance, establish itself as a new support by holding, and then the price goes up. That's exactly what happened here. Obviously, this isn't an all-time high, but that's just an example of a key level resistance that is broken, becomes a new support. Okay, so very good stuff there. I like to see that. So we've literally got plenty of room left to grow. We're under 70 on the RSI for the 4 hour, or sorry, the 1 day. The 4 hour we are a bit overextended. So just keep this in mind. It's not terrible, but when the RSI comes up over basically over 70 on the 4 hour chart, it does have a tendency coming back down and kind of correcting itself, just because the midterm is kind of telling us, hey, that was a lot of movement in a short amount of time. Okay, therefore, we could see a slight retracement, but I don't think it's going to be quite significant. If it does, we should expect 1280 to hold, okay? So that's essentially where we're at there. But all good stuff there on the 4 hour. I like what I see there. Let's go ahead and move on to the Ichimoku Cloud, kind of see what we're at. Now we do have the price action, basically the conversion line is above the baseline, but they're kind of concurrent with each other. This happens with significant increases, so I'm not worried about that. The key here is that the lagging span is free of any price action, and we're up over the cloud. So we've got all good signs here on the Ichimoku Cloud, essentially, that are telling us we want to keep our position open. Furthermore, TD sequential, here's that state of exhaustion. This is why we were at over, basically we're at like 75, almost 80 on the RSI for the 4 hour is right here. Of course, this overextension from TD sequential. So we're at a 9 right now. So it's no surprise that we're getting some kind of a pullback. So what we could expect to see is perhaps the next 9 hours. I know it's kind of a lot. It probably won't be 9 hours, but we could see another 9-hour correction from Kadena. The key is for the next correction to make sure to be higher than this previous low, right? So because we don't want to keep making higher highs and higher lows. So to keep this higher low, pattern forming, we want to have this next low be no lower than 1280. Okay? So if you are in a position right now, don't worry about closing it. We still got all the indications to keep it open. It very well shouldn't come down to 1280, but if it does, we'll be okay if we get a bounce off of that point. But this is telling us we're a bit on the overextended side, and we shouldn't expect the price to continue to progress further upwards from here. It will likely go sideways and then kick up again. Okay, but once more, just kind of summarize. On the short term, Kadena is a bit on the overextended side. On the big picture, the macro, we still have plenty of room for growth, right? So again, depending on your type of position, your overall, consideration for where you're planning to either take profits or, if this is a hodl trade, whatever the case is, you obviously want to articulate that accordingly. But big picture, we're looking good. Short picture, we might see a slight turnaround. But I would say worst case, the price will go sideways for a little while, maybe down to 12, maybe just say 13 and bounce, and then come back up to 16, 10, the major resistance level, and breaks through that once it tests it again. But just note that the moving average is kind of holding the price action in place right now, and we shouldn't expect it to blast through the current price action. But I would say over the next couple of days that we're absolutely going to be able to break this resistance level at 1610 and continue to progress upwards. One thing to note too, and I have this marked from before, we have a major volume, a significant amount of volume in this zone here between 16 and 1850. So just note when the price travels into that range, there's a good chance it might either A, get rejected initially, or B, pretty much consolidate a lot into that area, because we have the largest amount of volume accumulation over the past month and a half, and it's all right there. Okay, I mean obviously there's a strong amount of volume closer to 10 and 11, but the most amount of volume we've seen is between 60 and 1850. So just be mindful of that. We shouldn't expect the price just to blast right straight through that. It'll probably spend some time in that zone once we get there. All right, so that's all in all, the good, bad, and the ugly here for Kadena. Really, mostly good. And I hope that you found benefit, of course. You're not currently a member, consider subscribing. And I do greatly appreciate all of your support for everyone, of course, who's watching. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.